Right, and we are live and up and running. Good. Excellent. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Storyteller's Corner. I'm your host, Joshua T. Calkins Trilogy, also known as Byron Sidious. This is impromptu. It was not slated or scheduled, and hopefully I'll be able to make this stream relatively brief. And it is entirely kind of a knee-jerk reaction / response to a video upload that I just watched about 20 minutes ago from the YouTube channel Gothic Therapy, operated by MasteroftheTDS, or True Defense Samurai, reference to Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Writing Raven. Their conjoined program referred to as Gothic Therapy. Husband and wife team, excellent internet sleuths. They've been doing a lot of heavy lifting and much appreciated legwork in the video game industry space, which as a hobby and as a pastime I still quite enjoy and am engaged with, though that is not the primary material that I talk about or engage in. Myself, I tend to be just a genre fiction wonk, a storyteller who focuses on fantasy, horror, sci-fi, and yes, occasionally video games and occasionally comic books. My most recent video was a spurred out essay hypothesizing about Scott Snyder's New 52 Batman and Mr. Freeze presentation and the concept of perhaps the narrative or authorial Freudian slip, an issue of parapraxis regarding the Paul Dini presentation or alteration to the Mr. Freeze character mythos. But that's all from yesterday. If you want to look at that video, it is both here on my Rumble channel and on my YouTube channel. And I am dual streaming right now to both Rumble and YouTube. So to summarize, first of all, before going any further, if you haven't watched the video that I am going to be referring to right now, I highly recommend you head to. Unfortunately, they don't have a channel on Rumble. Master of the TDS has faintly implied that he's not a fan of the mechanics and the workflow of Rumble, so he and his wife do not upload to or broadcast on Rumble, but they do have a YouTube channel. 30-something media, greetings and salutations. Thanks for dropping in. So the video I'm referring to, that I'm responding to, is from Gothic Therapy from Master of the TDS on YouTube. So I would recommend that you check out that video when you have the opportunity. I should have had the link in the description of this broadcast, and I apologize for not doing that. I just was going off the cuff, just kind of responding. I'm doing all right, 30-something. It's my Saturday. It's my day off. And I've got the oldest keeping an eye on, an ear on her little brothers and little sister for right now, so I can come on here and do this briefly. That's why I'm going to try not to make this a very long show, because even though she is 12 years old and more than capable, I don't want to leave my oldest child in charge of the other children for too long on her own, because that would be highly irresponsible of me. So this should only be about, at most, 45 minutes to an hour. I know that might seem a little helicopter parenty, but I'm involved. I like to stay I like to stay on top of what's going on in my own home with my own kids. I'm dad first. I've said that plenty. Anyway, the summation of what what Master of the TDS and Writing Raven over at Gothic Therapy have been diving into, analyzing the way that YouTube's current mechanics are operating. Hey, Murdoch, greetings and salutations. The day is going all right. Thank you for asking. They've been analyzing and tracking what's been going on with view counts on YouTube. A lot of the larger channels and more prevalent, long-running YouTube channels have been noticing or remarking that it seems as though they've suddenly started dropping off and losing a great deal of viewers on their regularly scheduled uploads and videos. Of note would be one of the first people I noticed making mention of this, which was Jeremy Hambley of The Quartering. Although, to be fair, I don't have much in the way of empathy for him losing an ass load of viewers, because he perpetually advertises his own products, his own projects, and has ad reads of his own on screen and then mid-roll advertisements from YouTube's end. The guy is just mostly an advertising machine, so I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for him losing viewers. However, there are a lot of other channels who have been making comments about, it seems like I'm losing a lot of views during this time frame. Kind of wonder what's going on. The couple at Gothic Therapy have discovered, or what they believe they've discovered what's going on, which is a recent change in how YouTube calculates views on videos. A view on YouTube used to mean that someone clicked on your video and at the very least watched it for between 30 seconds and 3 minutes if it's a longer video. That would count as a view. In order to make their shorts more viable for views, they made an alteration to the way the back-end mechanics of YouTube's analytics records views. Yes, we've all seen it happen, and a lot of this is happening 30-something media because they're currently implementing alterations, and they are back balancing them. They're making these adjustments retroactive to previously uploaded videos. And one of the other things that YouTube has been doing apparently for about the last 3 to 6 months is if an account views your video and then the account gets deleted, suspended, or removed, their view on your video also gets removed. So if you had a whole ton of views on your video, but it turned out, let's say you have 100 views. That's not a ton, obviously. But let's say you have 100 views on a video, and 30 of them were from bots. Not because of anything you did as the content creator or uploader or channel owner, but it just randomly you got selected and your video got viewed by 30 bots. When YouTube routinely purges bots from its system, those views also are getting wiped out. So suddenly you can see a video's view count go down significantly because the activity of those bots was not genuine, so it gets removed as well. YouTube, according to Gothic Therapy, has tweaked that mechanic a little bit further in an effort to get more accurate tracking available for their shorts. Unfortunately, it has been applied quite literally across the entire platform, which is that they are now only counting engaged views as a full view to be counted. What is an engaged view? According to Google/Alphabet, the owners and operators of YouTube, an engaged view is when someone watches the video a minimum of 50% of the video and engages with it by either clicking to like it, clicking to share it, clicking to subscribe to the channel from that video, or leaving a comment, or clicking to like or dislike a comment. So only if you have watched at least half of the video and further engaged with the material will YouTube count your view toward the total view count of the video. That is the current hypothesis put forth by Gothic Therapy based upon their observations and analysis of the data. And they've got an extremely good argument in favor of this. They presented an excellent formulation for how this is being put together. And Master of the TDS has put forth that he estimates that the likelihood of their hypothesis being correct, being what has happened as a result of YouTube's tweak to their measurement of analytics, is at around 99.998% correct. I tend to personally, I have a personal bias in favor of believing these guys because they have yet to steer me or others in their audience wrong. A couple of comments from me in reactions or response to this. For one, it reframes for me the many years that I have found myself personally a little annoyed when the people who I routinely view on YouTube will either begin their video in the first minute to minute and a half by saying, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, share, or subscribe. It's annoying. And it's because, or at least it used to be annoying. Now it's almost background noise and I almost don't even hear it because I've been hearing that for fucking years. Every one of the larger channels, and by larger I mean anyone over 10,000 subscribers, it seems like. Gotta remember, I'm a relative nobody on, well, pretty much every platform I'm on except for Substack. If you're wondering why the banner right here, also the PayPal thing, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so if you do enjoy the work that I throw up on YouTube, I don't put anything on behind a paywall on my Substack anymore because of Stripe and that bullshit. You can always direct support and would be much appreciated, but obviously not necessary. What was I getting at? Sorry. For years, the larger channels, even mid-sized channels, in the first minute to minute and a half, or at the very tail end of their videos, they will say, if you appreciate this video, if you like this video and want to see more videos like it, remember to like, comment, share, or subscribe. It's become pablum. It is now just part of the artifice, the ritual that pretty much everybody engages in. It's empty wind. It's just become part of the script. It's routine. Well, you folks insisted upon this for fucking years. Now YouTube has just said, yeah, we agree. Unless you like, comment, share, or subscribe, we're not even going to count your view. It's not even going to contribute to the livelihood or continuation of the channels who you routinely engage with or watch or listen to. Now, there's a few ways in which I don't think the folks at YouTube have considered just how badly this is going to completely screw over a lot of the larger channels. For one, we know now, thanks to data analysis over the last couple of years, that the primary methodology in which people watch YouTube videos nowadays is through app-driven, smart connected televisions. TV is literally like on the Roku app or Roku televisions or the little units that you plug into the HDMI port on a non-Roku app or a non-Roku television. That is the primary methodology by which people watch YouTube these days. It far outstrips mobile and desktop nowadays. When was the last time you used your remote to go up and maneuver over to the thumbs up icon on your television to like a YouTube video? Not many people do that. I would posit hardly anybody actually takes the time to do that. Most folks, if they're watching YouTube on their television, they queue up the video or channel they want to watch. They click play or click OK, set the remote aside, and sit back. Okay. That's issue 1. Issue 2 for the folks at YouTube and the larger channels. When you are watching YouTube as a guest, when you're not signed in, you go to click on like or you can't comment as a guest. You have to log in. You have to sign in. You can click to like, if I remember correctly, but you can't actually otherwise interact with the program. And why would you like a video when you're logged on as a guest? When you're logged on as a guest, your information is not going to be compiled and tracked and saved for later reference. It's not going to matter. Now, true, the YouTube Smart TV app does track your IP address. So even when you are logged on as a guest, the folks at Google/Alphabet, they are able to put together. Hi, buddy. What's up? Inside. Oh, he's still intact too. This is not one of the ones that the dog got hold of. That's good. Yeah, that's the chili dog.
Yeah. I'm hot to eat.
Yeah, he's gonna eat. Hey, you want to just show that to your brother? Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm hot.
Thanks.
Oh.
Thank you. Hey, do you want to take this up? Remind Sissy that she left her dragon down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Go on, buddy. I'll be up shortly. Had a guest appearance from my son there. So, yeah, most folks, when they're, like I said, Google/Alphabet does track the IP address when you're logging in or using the YouTube app as a guest. That's why you're able to get kind of suggestions or recommendations based on the videos and channels that you have viewed as a guest when you're watching on your television. But it's going off of kind of a broad spread, like scatter shot of attempted recommendations. So, yeah. Anyway, what I am trying to get at overall is that, and this is my paranoid hypothesis working in here, based on Gothic Therapy's findings. Why would Google/Alphabet, YouTube only want to count views as genuine views if they are engaged views? Because engagement is data. It's all data. It gives them a framework to peer at their users, into their activity, and to better attempt to recommend algorithmically other channels or advertisements for products and services that they can attempt to funnel you, the viewer, into purchasing. My paranoid suspicion is that this drive, this endeavor, was not birthed from the folks at Google/YouTube themselves. I think this concept was whispered into their ears by the advertising partners who they work with primarily. They want that information. They want that data. They want your interaction, not so that they can better serve you material that you as the end user would prefer or will pay more attention to, though attention does play into it. We are operating off, after all, off of an information or an attention economy. The longer you stay on the platform, the longer your eyes and ears are hooked to YouTube/Google, the more likely you are to fall prey to various advertising techniques. I'll tell you what was one of my favorite ones recently was I've had a couple of these pop up, one waiting for YouTube videos to load. One of them, I think, was patent albuterol, where they're clever little political advertisements, kind of put together in the style of the over-the-top, feel-good pharmaceutical ads. But the links that they take you to are basically activist websites that are trying to hold large pharmaceutical companies responsible for advertising faulty products or for causing harm with their products, what have you. It's clever, it's kitsch, it's satirical. I enjoy and appreciate that kind of material. Okay, I'm guilty. I clicked on those links because that tends to be my kind of sense of humor. Clicking on that link, clicking on that ad, gives Google/YouTube a data point on me as a subscriber, as a viewer. For the most part, I am like most people who are casual YouTube viewers or listeners. For the most part, I put in an earbud at work and I queue up whatever YouTube video I'm looking to listen to, and I go about my business working my job and listening to the program. Most of the YouTube material that I engage with as a routine subscriber or user, I'm not actually looking at the screen, and I'm listening via my phone. YouTube at home, mostly it's for my kids. I'll throw on a YouTube Kids account. But I'm not clicking like on anything. They're not getting more data. Again, being paranoid and hypothesizing. And the touch of finger wagging, I already covered that. Wagging my freaking fingers at those mid-sized to larger channels who are constantly pounding you people over the head by saying, if you want to make sure that YouTube promotes my videos in the algorithm, then you need to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Why? If I'm subscribed to your channel already, you did something to catch my attention already, and I'm going to be looking for your material. I can click the bell notification icon all I want. That still doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to get fed your videos. Because of the way that YouTube/Google's algorithm is mechanically designed and programmed, even if I don't subscribe to you, but I routinely watch your material, it's still going to keep getting recommended and show up on my front page. Why? Because most people don't leave the front page on YouTube. And they know that. They know that. Most people don't bother to click one or two icons to navigate over to their subscriptions feed. Substack started doing that, and I fucking hate it. Thankfully, however, their settings allow you as the user to change how you land on Substack. You can set it up so that when you go in your browser to go to Substack, or when you use the Substack app on your phone, you can go into your settings and arrange it such that when you land on Substack, you go straight to your subscriptions. You don't go to notes. You don't go to the general landing page. You go straight to your subscriptions. And I love that. As far as I know, you can't do that on YouTube. It is set to throw you to the front page with algorithmically determined and calculated recommendations. Now, if your views as a content creator are only going to come from engaged views, and the vast majority of the traffic going to your channel is from a television where people aren't going to bother to use the remote to navigate down to click on the thumbs up button, where they can't comment, they literally can't comment, then you're not going to get that engagement. They can't share the video to their social media from the television. They can only do it from mobile or desktop. So the majority of your traffic is already not going to be engaged views. You, as the content creator, you've still got commercials showing up on your video. You've still got YouTube's self-determined placements of where their advertising partners are going to put their commercials in at the pre-roll or mid-roll or scattered throughout. They're going to get their eyeballs. They're going to get their attention. But if you're not getting an engaged view, those eyeballs are getting fed and served to those advertisers. But you, as the content creator and uploader, you're getting dick unless the person who saw that video, who saw that advertisement, clicks to like, clicks to share, clicks to subscribe, or leaves a comment. So on the television side, you're getting dick. And when you go to say, but why are my payments? Why is my income and revenue going down so much? I've got the views. But you have the engaged views. Are we getting data? Are we getting something out of it? Or are people just skipping the ads as soon as they can? Are people saying, nah, I'm not going to bother with that commercial. I'll wait. I'll throw the TV on mute. I'll pull the earbud out of my ear. And I'll periodically look down and check to see if the actual video is playing yet. Because I don't want to be advertised to constantly. I don't want to be bombarded by Ford and Chevy or whoever. There is another angle to this, the last one I'm going to touch upon, because now I've done my finger waggling. I've pointed out how this is going to screw over the actual content creators. What about the viewers? The regular YouTube users? I would consider myself more of just a user of YouTube and Rumble. I do upload material myself. That is true. But I would not classify myself as a regular content creator because I don't routinely upload material. I don't have a regular schedule. The only place in which I am a regular contributor is on my Substack as a storyteller, as a writer. Yes, I have the occasional ongoing audiobook / video presentations that I put together for my Rumble and YouTube. That's fair. I do that. I occasionally come on here and stream. Occasionally. But I don't have a schedule. I'm not regular. I don't do this routinely. This is an occasional part-time hobby for me as a presenter of material. I've been doing so since 2007. I've had the same YouTube channel since 2007. I've been on Rumble as a content uploader for, I think, 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. I jump in early. I'm an early adopter of Substack. I've been on Substack for 4 years. But I don't hammer away and constantly upload material and post stuff. Because I'm just kind of a normie for the most part. I'm just somebody who is a passive user of the program, the application, the website, the service. I'm just a regular guy for the most part. And if I don't click like if I don't comment on, if I don't share or subscribe based upon the video that I'm currently listening to, not always watching, then my view doesn't count, except for algorithmically, in order for YouTube to try recommending me other material. But they don't care otherwise, because I'm not giving them more data points. If I don't click to like or dislike a video, YouTube has no idea, one way or the other, if that's the sort of thing I'm going to continue watching. They'll algorithmically recommend more based on my history of viewing. For instance, I get on my front page, I get routinely recommended SCP Foundation videos and materials because I do enjoy that stuff, and I've watched a lot of it. I've listened to a lot of it over the years. If I watch a couple of Kirshi videos or streams back to back or in a concentrated couple of days, if I watch several videos from Kirshi or Smugalana or Leaflet, then all of a sudden, the fourth or fifth day, my front page is flooded with VTubers, most of whom I couldn't give a shit less about. I was in a mood. I was going through a binge. But that doesn't mean I want to be persistently fed that stuff constantly. My moods change depending on what I'm interested in at the time. That's how most people operate when we have access to as large a pool of material as we have on YouTube and Rumble. Although the pool on Rumble is not as varied. Boy howdy, would I love to see a little bit more variety on Rumble. Most of it is political slop. And game streaming. Okay, I like that. I wish there were a little bit more retro games on there, but again, that's a personal thing. That's personal tastes. That's nothing to do with recommendation on their part. My point being, unless I click like or I leave a comment, YouTube is not getting much of anything out of me. They're not getting that precious data. But they'll continue feeding me commercials and advertisements, trying to get me to click on something, utterly unaware that I don't give a shit, unless I come out and say I don't give a shit. But they don't know. They need that data. They really, really do. to do the whole, Kino Casino DSP thing, those guys, they need that money. They really, really do. Well, for Google/YouTube, they need that data. They really, really do. Why? Because they're able to turn that data into money. They're able to turn that data into influence and control. And that's where we come into more of the paranoia on my part. I would hypothesize, and I suspect, that at some point, Google/YouTube is going to get to the point where they say, look, unless you routinely engage with material, if you want to be able to use our service or our site without giving us data, then you got to pony up. And they'll give you the option. You can either pay money to use the site/service, or you can give them data, which they will attempt to turn into money by way of manipulating and recommending things to you. It's all about manipulation. It's all about getting you to spend your money on their advertising partners so that they can turn around and say, see, we funneled X number of clients or customers to your product or service. Give us more money and we'll advertise you some more, let you put up more commercials. They're still going to get money at the back end of it, whether it be from the advertisers or from the users of the site. They're going to get that money somewhere. The difference being, with a one-time purchase, yes, they're getting your money. But with data, they can use that to build a profile of you as the user, so they can continually come back to the well and attempt to nudge you towards giving them a little bit more of your money, or giving that money to their advertising partners who will then give them your money. It's all about getting that positioning, getting into that spot where they can hover over you and whisper in your ear. They'll, hey, click that link. See that thing, that doodad? You want that doodad, don't you? And they're whispering. They're using one hand to cup around their mouth to whisper into your ear, while the other hand is dipping into your wallet. It's what they want. At the end of the day, they want money and they want control over you. They want your money and the capacity and authority to tell you what to do and how to think and how to behave, how to engage as a consumer. Sadly for them, their own platform hosts people like the folks at Gothic Therapy who are able to observe these things and put together a theory or a hypothesis that will jog the senses of some of us who might otherwise be considered normies, but who've got enough brain cells clacking together and enough paranoid schizophrenia in their skulls to go, yeah, I could see that being a way of trying to get handled, and I don't like it. But anyway, that's all my hypothesizing on the subject. I'm going to have one more smoke, and then I'm going to go ahead and call it a day on this. This was impromptu. This was not planned. But I am deeply grateful to Master of the TDS and Writing Raven for putting that video out there to generate the conversation and the thinking about these things. Brief sidebar. Picked this up last week. News from the Fallout, issue number 1. This is a fascinating little start to a new series that I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up being a regular collector and / reader of. The art style I don't think is going to be necessarily be for everyone. It's all very dark, very black and white charcoal sketch visual style. But I mean, it is pretty neat. I overall I really enjoy this kind of art style, that rough, grainy kind of uncertainty in visuals. I did like it. I can't imagine this is going to end up being a long running series based on the predicate premise that it seems to be based upon. I don't think this will be a long running series. I think it's going to be a limited run, but it'll probably be pretty intense and enjoyable for what it is. Well, and, also, finally went into Lee's back order catalogs and got the issues 8 and 9 of the current run of Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu last week as well. Doctor Strange, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Oh, yes. This was another one that I really, really dug the art style. Unfortunately, I can kind of see where it's heading already in terms of just it's a new series called Pale Knight. Picked up issue number 1 a couple weeks ago at the comic book shop, and I can kind of see where that's going already too. But again, it's just because I'm familiar with mythology and narrative archetypes and structural standards, expectations, and patterns. But yeah. There's a reason for that too. Nah, that's something for another time. Anyhow, that's all for now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you for listening to me spurg out a little bit. I ask that you take care of yourselves, and as always, keep reading.